Hello, Alabama. In the midst of a tough recruiting season, Alabama is working on it. Could there be a turnaround? Did anyone see this coming? Could it be? Let's take a look. Alabama working to land Michigan football's top 2025 commit. The Alabama Crimson Tide, always a formidable force in college recruiting, are once again proving why they are one of the most feared powerhouses in the football scene. Recently, the team has now turned its attention to one of the top talents in the 2025 class, four-star cornerback Ivan Taylor, who is currently committed to the Michigan Wolverines. And could there be a turnaround? Taylor, ranked as the second-best safety in the country and the 41st overall recruit, had previously been a heavy hitter on Alabama's radar. However, after his reversal of commitment to Michigan over Notre Dame last summer, many believed his future lay in Ann Arbor. But as Alabama's track record has shown time and time again, the Crimson Tide recruiting staff's persistence is remarkable. That makes Taylor an even more appealing target for the Tuscaloosa program, even if he has already pledged his allegiance to the Wolverines. What's notable about Alabama's move is the strategy with which the team is approaching this recruitment. Over the years, the team has developed a reputation for turning around high-profile commitments, convincing players that a future at Bryant-Denny Stadium offers not only the chance to compete at the highest level, but also to prepare for the NFL. With Ivan Taylor, that approach has intensified, and Kalen DeBoer's coaching staff is working tirelessly to show him why Tuscaloosa is the best place for his development. While Michigan was able to pry Taylor away from Notre Dame, the coaching staff's work is now under fire. Alabama, with its recent history of putting elite defenders in the NFL, is offering something many players crave: a clear path to professional success. The program has a tradition and is leading the way with the next generation, and it has an unmatched ability to develop defensive talent, and Taylor would certainly fit right in with its already renowned defense. While Taylor has shown a firm commitment to Michigan thus far, the Crimson Tide is determined not to give up. Alabama is no stranger to flipping big commitments, especially when it comes to elite recruits. And with a talent like Ivan Taylor, the push to reverse his decision is understandable. The Wolverines' cornerback battle with Alabama is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing recruiting battles of 2025. The current landscape shows that when Alabama takes the field to compete for a recruit, no other team can feel completely safe. Can Michigan lose this one? At the end of the video, I want to hear your thoughts. The Alabama Crimson Tide continue their intense recruiting battle, and the latest focus is on talented defensive line prospect Jame Bachu. The young athlete, rated a four-star recruit out of Grayson High School in Georgia, recently made a significant move by backing out of his commitment to Florida, reigniting interest from several college football powerhouses, including Alabama. Bachu is widely projected to play interior defensive line at the next level, which explains why so many elite programs are willing to invest heavily in his future signing. Alabama, known for its tradition of developing dominant defenders, sees Bachu as a rare talent who can fill important gaps in its defense, particularly on the interior line, a vital position in the game plan. In addition to the Crimson Tide, Bachu has revealed that he is considering other major universities, including Auburn, Michigan, Tennessee, Texas, and USC. However, when Alabama enters the picture, especially with the renewed leadership of Kalen DeBoer and his recruiting staff, it's hard for any other program to match the appeal of success and development that Tuscaloosa offers. Alabama's history of producing elite defensive linemen, many of whom have already excelled in the NFL, is a strong selling point for a prospect like Bachu. Florida's withdrawal makes it clear that Bachu is re-evaluating his options and that his final decision is still up in the air. The fact that Alabama is among the top contenders only shows how much the program values this type of defensive talent. Coach Kalen DeBoer, along with his staff, will certainly use the experience and reputation that Alabama has built over the years to show Bachu why Tuscaloosa is the right place for him. In the current 2025 recruiting landscape, this battle promises to be intense. The fight for Jame Bachu's commitment is yet another example of how Alabama is always on the cutting edge of securing the best talent to keep its defense impenetrable. If the Crimson Tide can convince him to don the red and white uniform, it will be another big move for Alabama's storied defensive line, which already has an impressive heritage. Let's get going! The recent news of Kian Sabbah's injury is a significant blow to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and the team is now in a period of adjustment. The safety, who transferred from Michigan, suffered a lower extremity injury, suspected to be a broken foot, during the loss to Tennessee, which will sideline him indefinitely, according to head coach Kalen DeBoer. The absence will put additional pressure on an already fragile secondary, especially in a season where Alabama is struggling to maintain its defensive identity. Kian Sabbah, a player known for his tenacity and skill, demonstrated immense courage by continuing to play through the injury in an attempt to help his team overcome the volumes. This display of resilience, praised even by former Alabama quarterback Greg McElroy, illustrates Sabbah's commitment to the program, even in the face of extreme physical pain. While Coach DeBoer avoided going into too much detail, the confirmation that Sabbah will be out for a while solidifies the seriousness of the situation. Sabbah's absence opens up a gap for second-year player Bryson Hubbard, who will now have the opportunity to step into a crucial role on defense. Hubbard, who saw the most time on the field during the Tennessee game, will have to adapt quickly to fill the void left by Sabbah. Alabama's secondary, already considered one of the youngest units on the team, is dealing with a number of injuries, making the situation even more challenging. However, it's not all bad news. Coach Kalen DeBoer offered hope by confirming that other defensive backs, including Devonta Smith, Xavier Brown and Red Morgan, are making progress in their recoveries and could be ready to play in the upcoming game against Missouri. This return is crucial for the Crimson Tide, as the defense needs to be at its best, especially with Sabbah's extended absence. The impact of these injuries on the secondary, especially in a transitional season with DeBoer's arrival, cannot be understated. The lack of depth and experience among defensive backs means that each injury has a ripple effect, putting even more pressure on healthy players to perform above expectations. For Alabama to continue its championship run, the quick adaptation of young players like Bryson Hubbard will be essential, and the team will need the collective strength to overcome the challenges posed by these absences. Game on! Are there 5 things that are raising alarm bells for Bama? Let's think about it. Inconsistency on both sides of the ball has been a hallmark of this team in 2024. In previous games, Alabama has often had a more solid side that has made up for the other shortcomings. However, this season, the problem seems to be global. The defense, which has always been a pillar of strength, has faltered in critical moments, as was evident in the loss to Vanderbilt, where it failed to make timely stops. The offense, in turn, has wasted valuable opportunities, such as the turnovers that were not capitalized against Tennessee. This lack of consistency is a major concern, especially when expectations around the program remain high. The coaching adjustments, which have historically been a differentiator for Alabama, also seem to be lacking where they need to be. The inability to adapt to the circumstances of the game, especially at halftime, was evident against Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Against Vanderbilt, the team came out of halftime trailing and was unable to respond in kind. In the second half, the defense continued to be exploited by the Commodores' running game, with no effective response. The same was true against Tennessee, when the offense failed to capitalize on 3 additional possessions generated by turnovers. In a program where technical excellence has always been the foundation of success, this lack of adjustment has been surprising. The lack of discipline has also stood out negatively. Veteran players such as Kendrick Law and Malachi Moore have been penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct at crucial moments in the losses. The penalties have not only hurt Alabama's chances of recovering in games, but have also raised questions about the level of control and guidance provided by the new coaching staff. On a team where veterans are supposed to serve as role models for the younger players, these errors in judgment are alarming and raise questions about the leadership ability on the field. Poor execution, or rather, the lack of execution, has been a constant problem for the Crimson Tide this season. The ability of players and coaches to deliver in critical moments has simply not been there in many games. Quarterback Jalen Milroe, for example, has struggled with poor decisions and inaccuracy in key moments, as seen in the loss to Tennessee. On the defensive side, missed tackles and failures to stop the opposing offense have been painfully frequent. The inability to execute the game plan in decisive situations has been a major factor in the team's losses. The limited rotation of players on offense is also a concern. Names like Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, Emmanuel Henderson and Cole Adams have not received as many opportunities as one would expect. Alabama has a deep and talented roster, but continues to rely on just 2 or 3 players to carry the offensive load. If this approach does not change quickly, the team could find itself in an even tougher spot, with the season at risk of ending in disappointing fashion. For Alabama, a program that has historically set the standard for excellence, this season's struggles are a wake-up call. Kalen DeBoer's team needs to make significant adjustments quickly if it wants to keep its title hopes alive. The season is far from over, but the challenges are many, and the margin for error is getting smaller. I want to hear your thoughts now. Comment.